next story. Barack Obama, if you have not heard, had a chef. And when I heard about this story and I saw some of the clips, I do remember seeing him before. I remember seeing his chef on TV before in the background. But Barack Obama's chef has died. Now, apparently, this happened at Martha's Vineyard. Another local story here, kinda. He was paddle boarding, and at first it was reported that the Obamas were not on the island. In the past 24 hours, that has been corrected, and now it has been reported that they were on the island. So here we go. Apparently, he was paddle boarding. I guess he lost his grip or whatever, went under, but did not resurface. So they're saying that he drowned. I have a couple of things to say about what I think may have happened, but I think we need to get into this story. I want you to hear, this is when it was first reported. And as I said, they've changed the story within the past 24 hours. Listen to this.
We're going to turn now to the tragedy the Obama stayed in Martha's Vineyard, where the family chef was found dead. The Obamas were not there at the time. We're learning more about what happened. DeMarco Morgan has the details. Good morning, DeMarco.
Good morning, guys. Talk about a tragedy here. The husband and father of two went missing about 100 feet offshore Sunday evening. His body wouldn't be recovered until the following day. The Obamas saying they now join the victim's family and those who knew him in grieving the loss of Tafari Campbell.
African-American male on a paddleboard, no life preserver.
This morning, tragedy unfolding near the Obama family's Martha's Vineyard estate. Police recovering the body of 45-year-old Tafari Campbell, a beloved personal chef and friend of the former president and first lady. The call for help came in Sunday evening for the missing paddleboarder, who witnesses tell police was last seen wearing all black before they eventually lost eye contact with him.
A 40-year-old male, possible drowning.
Campbell's paddleboard and hat would surface, but no sign of Campbell. Then the unimaginable. The husband and father of two found dead 100 feet from shore at a depth of about 8 feet in the Edgartown Great Pond. Police say divers found his body by deploying a side-scan sonar from a boat. Campbell first worked as a sous chef for the Obamas at the White House.
Gotta keep it under lock and key.
Seen here brewing beer in this White House video.
And this is where I remembered him before, when he was brewing the beer. And I was like, oh, wait, I saw this. I do remember this.
What you do is you take the beer bottle.
Now authorities investigating the drowning. Campbell was on the vineyard visiting. The Obamas were not there at the time of the incident.
Pause. So, again, when it was first reported, they said the Obamas were not there. They were not on the island. But that information changed within 24 hours and said they were there on the island.
Mrs. Obama releasing a statement calling him a warm, fun, extraordinary, kind person who made all of our lives a little brighter, adding he was a talented sous chef at the White House. He's been part of our lives ever since, and our hearts are broken that he's gone. Campbell is survived by his wife and their twin boys. The couple's Instagram posts over the years showing their close relationship and tight-knit family. And state and local police are investigating the incident. And guys, if you go to his Instagram page, it was full of life and personality. This is a loss right here. Yes.
It really was. And we're thinking of his wife and his twin boys right now. All right, DeMarco.
So before I show you this next clip, let me explain something. The first question I had to myself, if he drowned, maybe he didn't know how to swim. Now, some of you may wonder, why would you go paddle boarding if you don't know how to swim? Same reason why some people get on boats and don't know how to swim. I don't know. Maybe he thought there was no chance, no risk of drowning. But it turns out he did know how to swim. In fact, there's video footage here of him swimming away. Watch this. So this was his post. There's him swimming in the pool. Looks like he can swim to me. Now watch this. He can swim. He can even turn over. He can backstroke. Not everybody can do that. You know, may not be an expert swimmer, but he can do the backstroke. And I know people who can swim that can't do the backstroke, right? So then I had to ask myself, how did he drown? A couple of things could have happened when you're on a paddle boat, right? So your foot, there's a chain connected to your foot. The chain's connected to the boat. He could have slipped off the paddle boat, lost his grip, fell into the water. But I think what is still kind of weird to me is he still knows how to swim. And what is strange is that the person, the eyewitness, who we still don't know who this person is, the eyewitness that said they saw him go under and not come back up, the eyewitness never said they saw this person's head pop back up. So what could have prevented him from coming back up? Multiple things could have happened. Maybe when he slipped, there could have been something internal that was going on, like a health issue. Maybe that's what caused him to slip in the first place. You never know, right? Maybe he had an asthma attack or something like that. And that's what caused him to slip off the boat, fall into the water. And maybe that's why he wasn't able to swim back up. But what is a little strange is that they already said in the very beginning that the Obamas were not there on the island. Where did that information come from? And then two, they return back and say they were on the island. Where did that information come from? Who gave them this information? And why haven't they named the eyewitness that saw him go underwater? So that's also something very questionable, right? Now, the Daily Mail said something that I thought was pretty interesting. Listen to this. Barack Obama's chef, Tafari Campbell, drowns in paddle board accident near 12 million Martha Vineyard's home of heartbroken ex-president. So I want to go down to this particular part here. They show a lot of pictures. That was him, brewing the beer and stuff like that. See, there he was right there on the Today Show. He was brewing the beer in the background. But I want to go to this part right about here, the day of the incident. This is peculiar to me. We saw him last week. He was such a nice and happy guy. One staff member told dailymail.com he didn't seem to live here, but would be here a lot in the summer and fall and bought various things. He was nice and quiet. It's awful to hear that's happened to him. The employee added Campbell had been coming here for a few years now. When he came in, he would chat to us about what he was cooking up. One of the things he would always special order is juice, orange juice and strawberry lemonade. Now let's get to the day of the event. Campbell visited Martha Vineyard several times, playing golf on several occasions at the nearby Farm Neck Golf Club. Witnesses first told cops Sunday night that a man later identified as Campbell went underwater and then briefly reappeared as he struggled to stay afloat before submerging again around 7:46 p.m. Now you hear a different story, and this is why I wanted to show this to you guys. In this account, it was reported that he briefly reappeared as he struggled to stay afloat. But in other reporting, they said he never returned to the surface. Which is it? Why are there so many different stories surrounding this incident? Let's go on. The witness, who was not identified, was paddle boarding on Edgartown Great Pond with Campbell. A massive joint agency search was launched when a 911 call was made from the Obama Martha's Vineyard home on Turkeyland Cove Road. The former president and first lady were not at the residence at that time, but they were on the island. You see this? I told you guys, the story continued to change. And they left that out. They said they were not at the residence, but they left out the part that they were on the island. Let's continue. The dispatcher said Edgartown Fire and Water Rescue personnel, Turkeyland Cove Road, for a 40-year-old male possible drowning. So they just told you that Turkeyland Cove was the Obama's address. So he was paddle boating at their address. So some people have asked this question, why would he have been at their home when they're not there? And to that point, that's why I said, but they were on the island. They may not have been at the house at that point in time, but they were on the island. See, you got to put these things together. Now, some people say, well, some rich people just let like their cooks or housekeepers like come to the house when they're not there. But if they weren't there, who was he cooking for? Let's continue. In the aftermath of the call, Chief Alex Schaefer of the Edgartown Fire Department told Vineyard Gazette, island police and firefighters conducted door-to-door searches. Firefighters also searched the pond's shoreline on foot. The search efforts resumed Monday morning for the venerated chef who was last seen wearing all black without a life jacket. Now, again, why would he not wear a life jacket? Because he could swim, as you saw in the video footage, right? His paddleboard and hat were recovered Sunday, and his body was found around 10 a.m. Monday in the 8-foot deep waters, approximately 100 feet away from the shore. 100 feet away. Let's continue here. I don't know, man. You see the pictures? So I want to show you the pictures here so you can see what this looks like. So here's the Obama's estate. Okay. There's the water. You see here the boats, the little like canoes and stuff right here. Okay. All right. Here's the water. The state's right there. And there's the estate again. It says the recovery mission was just yards away from former President Obama's Massachusetts 7-bedroom home, right near the water. So he wasn't even that far away when they found him. Let's go down. So that's the dispatcher call.
Water rescue personnel. Echo 90 and Echo unit. Respond to 7979 Turkeyland Cove for a 40-year-old male, possible drowning. It's controlled to Edgartown Fire Water Rescue personnel. Echo 90 and Echo unit. Respond to number 7979 Turkeyland Cove Road for a 40-year-old male, possible drowning. Unit to acknowledge.
Okay. Now it goes on to say, in a statement Monday, the Massachusetts State Police said shortly before 10 a.m., the body of the missing paddleboarder was recovered from Edgartown Great Pond by Massachusetts State Police divers. MSP Underwater Recovery Unit divers made the recovery after the victim's body was located by a Massachusetts environmental police officer deploying side scan sonar from a boat. The U.S. Coast Guard, Edgartown Fire, Air Wing, detectives, and Dukes County Sheriff's Department were all part of the rescue mission. A command post was later set up at Wilson's Landing, which is across the narrow cove from Obama's mansion. Just after midday, Edgartown Police Department confirmed that Wilson's Landing had been reopened. Edgartown Great Pond is an 890-acre body of water. The investigation into the man's death is being conducted by state police with the Cape, et cetera, et cetera. But you know why this is a little odd? Because something similar to this happened before. Not with Barack Obama, but with the Clintons. Maybe this is all just a coincidence. I don't know. But this is a little bit weird. A lot of people may not remember Walter Scheib. Who was Walter Scheib? After the tragic death of Tafari Campbell, details of drowning death of Hillary Clinton's chef resurface. I kid you not. I can't make this up. There's Hillary. And this gentleman here to the left, that was her chef. Okay, so let's take you back in time. As the Obamas mourn the loss of their personal chef, some individuals on Twitter have been quick to point out a previous tragedy involving another White House chef. Make this bigger. In 2015, Chef Walter Scheib, who was hired by First Lady Hillary Clinton during Bill Clinton's administration, also lost his life in a drowning incident in New Mexico. It's just, that wasn't that long ago. 2015. There's more. The occurrences of both White House chefs dying by drowning have sparked bizarre and unfound conspiracy theories, and social media has been abuzz with comparisons between the two cases. Two White House chefs have died. Twitter users have drawn parallels between the deaths. Though both died in different drowning tragedies and have no similarities besides being chefs who served presidents and their families at the White House, the conspiracy theorists had a field day linking the two deaths. One Twitter account made a post that read, "Two White House chefs have now died from drowning." In 2015, the chef for Bill and Hillary Clinton died from drowning while hiking in New Mexico. Walter Scheib's death was confirmed an accidental drowning after he was hiking alone in New Mexico mountains. How do you drown in the mountain? Somebody let me know. How do you drown in the mountain? Walter Scheib's death was confirmed accidental drowning. His body was found submerged in a mountain drainage flowing with surface runoff about 25 yards off the Yerba Canyon hiking trail, hidden from view by vegetation and a steep decline off the trail, according to police statement at that time. It's just, there's one of the tweets there. Oh no, man. Sourced from CNN, the post made unfounded speculation as one user agreed with them, commenting, "All I can say is the odds of the drowning after being a White House chef are getting higher." Look at this, man. I don't know if it will let you see here. Yeah, that's just the source of that tweet. We'll go back to where we were. But it's just, so a lot of people are like, what is happening here? Scheib served as a White House executive chef. An autopsy conducted, Walter Scheib concluded that his death was accidental, as confirmed in a statement by the department. Scheib, who had served as a chef under Presidents Bill Clinton and George W. Bush, went missing on June 13th after embarking on a solo hike along a mountain trail in Taos, New Mexico. Indeed, Walter Scheib held the position. He was personally appointed to this role by then First Lady Hillary Clinton and stated on the Scheib's official website. His body was discovered submerged in a mountain drainage area, which was carrying surface runoff approximately 25 yards away from the Yerba Canyon hiking trail. So, I mean, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying, it's a little weird. It's a little strange and odd. And this isn't the only one. There was a gentleman that worked for the Clinton administration. This was right after Bill Clinton won. I have to look up that guy's name. This was right after Bill Clinton won. He had worked for Bill Clinton for 6 months. All of a sudden, this guy's death was ruled a suicide. And apparently, according to Linda Tripp and some others, not many people really wanted to talk about this guy. Hold on, let me look that up. I saw this because I went over this before. Hold on. Hold on. I'm coming. Clinton guy. Suicide. Aha, yes. Vince Foster. That was his name. Vince Foster. I told you. There's just something a little bit off here. A little bit off. Hold on, let me pull up that thing. Okay, I'm gonna share it with you guys. We'll have to do Tennessee tomorrow, Eric. Sorry. I know Eric's probably like, damn it. We'll have to finish Tennessee tomorrow. Look at this. I have to show you about Vince Foster because this is a hoot. Vince Foster, you guys remember this guy? Heard of him? Let's go to life and death. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but I'm just saying, let's just get straight to the point when it comes to Vince. Now, he was a lawyer in Arkansas prior to this. Listen to this, depression and death. 4 days after the commencement speech, the White House Travel Office controversy erupted. Foster was the target of several critical Wall Street Journal articles or editorials in June and July in 1993 with titles such as "Who is Vincent Foster?" He became quite upset over the travel office matter and the possibility of a congressional hearing at which he might have been called to testify. Disliking the public spotlight and having continued weight loss and insomnia, he considered resigning his position, but feared a personal humiliation upon returning to Arkansas. Struggling with depression, which after his death was assessed as clinical depression, Foster was prescribed the antidepressant medication trazodone over the phone by his Arkansas doctor, starting with a low initial dosage. The next day, Foster was found dead in Fort Marcy Park, a federal park in Virginia. He was 48 years old. An autopsy determined that he was shot in the mouth and no other wounds were found on his body. A draft resignation letter was found torn into 27 pieces in his briefcase. The letter contained a list of grievances, including the Wall Street Journal editor's lie without consequence and saying, "I was not meant for the job or the spotlight of public life in Washington. Here, ruining people is considered sport." So, again, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying it's a little odd, a little weird. Linda Tripp and all her craziness. This is one issue where she was correct about how everybody else in her wing of the White House where she worked just basically overlooked this and was just like, just keep it business as usual. And to her, that was someone that was her friend, wasn't just a coworker. And she was just basically told, like, suck it up and keep it moving. Coincidence? Maybe? I'll let you decide. But that's something to think about.